All right, Chriselda is here to tell us just what else Nthabiseng had to say. Chriselda, gunshots, we're hearing a number of people that she saw running past her. What else has she said?
That's right. You'll remember, Bongiwe, while this is the third witness in this new trial, this is the second neighbour now following Khaya Ngache, who is taken to the stand. And basically what Nthabiseng Mokete says is that she was sitting in the car at the time that she heard the first gunshot go off. And that's when she noticed one man running past the vehicle that she was sitting in with her friend, which was directly opposite the Khumalo home. And she describes this man as having run towards the park. You remember the park has also been quite, brought to the center of this particular case because there had also been some allegations. We heard the previous witness as well, Khaya Ngache, say that there were some murmurs from some of the bystanders who'd been standing outside who said that there were people who ran towards the park. So we're now hearing Nthabiseng also saying that these are the first person that she saw after the first gunshot had gone off had ran towards this park. Let's take a listen to what she had to say after the first gunshot went off.
Sound loud, like that bang, the sound, you need the sound as tune.
Now, there was a stage where there was a sound, a loud noise that sounded like a gunshot sound, a bang sound, like that of a firearm. I then said to her, that is the sound of a firearm or a firearm that is being discharged. Now, there was a person that passed or walked past at the time that I was saying to her, that is a sound of a gunshot. This particular person, as he or she was passing, he or she went past running.
So also then, Bongiwe, that was not the only gunshot, according to Nthabiseng Mokete, that went off. She says after the first gunshot had gone off, which she was describing in that clip, she says she and a friend even argued about what the sound was. And as they tried to decipher what that sound was about in this, exchange that you would normally have with your friend about a noise you would have heard, a second gunshot had gone off. And then she saw two other individuals running towards the same direction that the first person had run towards. Let's take a listen.
Answering nganyisana hape mo hole engwe hape.
As we were busy arguing with each other like that, then there was another sound of a firearm that is being discharged. Now, this second sound of a firearm that is being discharged, it sounded as though it was now close to the vehicle.
But why chuba mata baya go tlase same direction ela o qala amathetseng go yona.
Now, after that sound, two people passed running towards the park as well, in the same direction that the first person who passed running took.
So then, Bongiwe, very interestingly, what we're hearing from Nthabiseng Mokete is that after Senzo Meyiwa had been put into the vehicle and taken to the hospital, she and a friend decided to follow the family. And because when she arrived there, everyone was hysterical. The nurses basically asked her to go inside, and while at first she says she was not in agreement with that because she believed it could have been somebody a bit more closer to the family who should go inside, she ended up going inside, and when she got there, she described what she says was Senzo Meyiwa trying to be resuscitated, and that's when the news was broken to her first that Senzo Meyiwa is no more. Let's take a listen.
Balike hape ba etse kare mchini hape ba hlalose hore ke ba etse kare ba mo resuscitate hape.
Now they went on as though they were resuscitating him.
Popola doctor are re lekile ka hohle empa ha o hlokahetse ha sa le.
I remember the doctor saying that we tried all, however is no longer.
So Bongiwe, according to this now, Nthabiseng Mokete, from what we heard in court today, was the first person to be told by hospital staff that Senzo Meyiwa is no more. You'd recall as well the testimony from Zandi Khumalo, who was, also previously on the stand. This was, of course, before Khaya Ncatshi, in that she said she'd called out and gone to Mapiri's house and also met the same Nthabiseng now that is on the stand. And Nthabiseng basically tells the court today that indeed Zandi Khumalo did run towards their direction, basically said Senzo had been shot and asked for an ambulance to be called. Because a little bit earlier on today, you would recall when Advocate Zandile Mshololo had been cross-examining Khaya Ncatshi just towards the end, she basically asked, when Khaya Ncatshi had gone into the house, was there anyone trying to assist Senzo Meyiwa? And he basically said from the passage where he was standing, no. Now that you would be able to deduce or perhaps say that maybe no one was trying to help Senzo Meyiwa. And in fact, Advocate Zandile Mshololo was pushing towards that direction to say, well, there Senzo Meyiwa he was injured, but nobody tried to help him. But the judge intervened there saying we can't deduce that to be the case on the basis that Zandi Khumalo has previously come to say that she did go out and ask for help. Now this is where Nthabiseng Mokete's evidence comes in, where she says indeed it was Zandi Khumalo that ran out of the house, ran towards the car in which she was sitting with her friend, and basically asked for them to call an ambulance. But cross-examination has also started there, Bongiwe, in that we're already starting to pick up what the defense says are contradictions in the testimony of Nthabiseng Mokete as well as Zandi Khumalo. You would recall that Zandi Khumalo had said that she left the hospital returning to the crime scene after, of course, Senzo Meyiwa had been confirmed dead. She left with her mother, Khumalo. But we're hearing from Nthabiseng Mokete now that she says she's adamant that she left the hospital with Gladness Khumalo, or who is being referred to as Khumalo, in this particular trial. So now you have that contradiction where Zandi Khumalo says they left the hospital with the mother, with Kelly Khumalo and Tumelo, except from Thokozisi Twala, though. Thokozisi Twala is believed to have stayed behind with Mandisa. They were said to have had some kind of a close relationship. And, what we could deduce from that also is that perhaps he was not, really to or for this relationship that was taking place. So they were starting to see the contradictions again, and we're expecting the defense to try to poke further holes in the testimony of Nthabiseng Mokete tomorrow.
It's going to be interesting what comes out of that, especially if the cracks have already begun to show. So definitely an interesting day again tomorrow. So hopefully we speak again.
We will.
And you give us just an update. And that's just a sense of what came out of court, today in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. Chriselda Lewis, of course, watching those developments very, very closely.